His car keys and wallet, I think, are there too, but he skated away and left them. Here comes Hutson. Lane Hutson scores! Hutson! What a shot!
This is not just a breakout story or a maybe one-day hope. This is real, and it's happening now.
Voilà Hutson. Hutson s'avance. Tir et le but!
By the time the 2025-26 NHL season begins, the league might not know what hit it. Lane Hutson is not built like the NHL's typical star defenseman. He's not 6 feet 3 inches, 220 pounds, with a booming shot from the point. He's 5'9", barely 160 pounds, and yet he's already bending the league to his will. In June, the Montreal Canadiens watched Hutson take home the Calder Trophy as the NHL's best rookie, the first Hab to win it since Ken Dryden in 1972. 60 assists. 66 points. Rookie records falling one after another, and he did it all in hockey's biggest pressure cooker, while dragging Montreal into a playoff fight no one saw coming. But to understand why this is more than just a great rookie year, you have to rewind. Back in the 2022 NHL draft, no one was talking about Hutson as a first-round lock. Teams saw his size as a risk, maybe even a deal breaker. Pick after pick, his name stayed on the board. And then, with the 62nd pick, a draft choice they got from Edmonton in a Brett Kulak trade, the Canadiens called his name. It didn't shake headlines. No bold predictions. Just another undersized defenseman with high skill written on the scouting report. But Montreal saw something no one else did. They saw the way he used his edges to twist defenders in knots. They saw the head fakes, the shoulder dips, the split-second bursts that opened passing lanes where none existed. They saw the brain behind the game, the ability to think and move 2 steps ahead at NHL speed. And when he finally made the jump from Boston University to the big league, it didn't take years of adjustment. It took one season. One season to lead all rookies in points. One season to tie an assist record that stood for over 4 decades. One season to make fans in Montreal believe they might be watching the birth of a new franchise cornerstone. This isn't about hype. It's about danger.
Peut-être une dernière attaque. Voilà Hutson qui perd la rondelle, la reprend. Oh, de filet ouvert et le but!
Because every time Hutson touches the puck, defenders have a choice: challenge him and risk being exposed, or back off and give him space, which is just as deadly. On the blue line, he doesn't just hold the puck, he dictates the rhythm. He draws wingers out of position, waits until they bite, and then threads the pass through a lane they didn't know existed. His deception isn't just a trick, it's a weapon. And it's one the entire NHL will have to figure out fast. The 2025-26 season isn't just another step for Hutson. It's the moment he turns a breakout year into something far bigger. And if the rest of the league thinks last season was his peak, they're in for a very rude surprise. Lane Hutson didn't storm into the league on size or muscle. He walked in with something rarer: control. What makes him dangerous isn't just his skill, it's how he uses it. The NHL moves at a speed where most rookies panic. Hutson slows it down. He waits. He fakes. He sells you on a move you think is coming. And then he's gone. The puck already somewhere else. Wingers hate matching up against him. They try to cut him off at the blue line, but a quick shoulder drop sends them lunging at air. Step too far back, and he takes the space, walking into a prime shooting lane or feeding a perfect pass to a teammate. This isn't flash for the sake of flash. It's calculated chaos. In his rookie year, Hutson led all NHL defensemen in slot pass completions, finding teammates in the most dangerous scoring areas on the ice more than stars like Hughes or Makar. And yet, for all the brilliance, the doubts are still there. Can the smallest defenseman in the NHL survive in the corners against the league's biggest forwards? Can he hold his own when the game slows? When playoff hockey turns into a war of inches and bruises? There are moments, the rare giveaways under pressure, the battles lost in front of the net, that critics point to as cracks in the armor. In the playoffs, Washington tried to push him around, force him into mistakes. At first, they got to him. But game by game, shift by shift, Hutson adapted. He didn't shy away. He played through the hits, made plays under pressure, and still led Montreal in scoring. That's the part the box score doesn't tell you. The fight, the willingness to adjust in real time, the refusal to back down, even when the matchups look impossible on paper. And here's the thing, Montreal isn't trying to hide him from those moments. They're feeding him more. Top pair minutes, first power play, the green light to run the offense from the blue line. Because when Hutson is on the ice, Montreal isn't just defending, they're attacking. Even from 180 feet away from the opponent's net, he's looking for the next opening, the next chance to break a team's shape. The league can try to game plan for him. They can shadow him, hit him, try to close his space. It won't matter. Because Hutson doesn't just play one style. He adapts, mid-shift, mid-play. And that's what makes him a nightmare. The question now isn't whether he belongs, it's how much damage he can do with a full year of experience, stronger teammates around him, and a franchise built to let him lead. And that's where the story shifts, from proving he can play to proving he can change the game. Alright, here's Block 3, the Fallout plus Transformation plus Emotional Punch section, built in the exact cinematic hype style as your Demidov example, leading to a strong closing hook. October 2025, a new NHL season begins, and Lane Hutson isn't just another sophomore defenseman. He's the engine of the Montreal Canadiens. Inside the Bell Center, you can feel it before puck drop, that quiet buzz when a star is about to take the ice. Fans aren't wondering if he'll make a play, they're waiting to see how soon it happens. The Canadiens know what they have now. They're not easing him in. They've built the lineup to give him space, more speed on the wings, stronger puck support, and net front targets ready for his passes. Every possession is a chance for him to create. Every shift is an opportunity to tilt the game in Montreal's favor. And Hutson plays like he knows it. There's no panic in his game, no wasted movement, just quick reads, perfect timing, and that same cold calm he carried all last year. Opponents try to push him, bully him, wear him down. But that's the trap. The more they chase, the more space he finds. One step, one fake, one sharp turn, and suddenly the puck is in the slot and the red light is on. If he does in year 2 what he did in year 1, and then some, the conversation changes. This stops being about the smallest defenseman in the NHL and starts being about one of the most dangerous playmakers in the sport. And that's what makes the 2025-26 season so dangerous for the rest of the league. Hutson isn't chasing anyone anymore. He's setting the pace. When the puck is on his stick, he controls not just the play, but the entire building. He can slow 21,000 people into silence, then send them into a roar seconds later. It's not just skill, it's presence. The kind of presence that forces coaches to change matchups, that makes goalies uneasy, that turns a regular shift into a highlight reel in 3 touches. Some players get called the future of a franchise. Hutson is already its present. And if he keeps climbing, he could be its future too. This isn't hype. This isn't wishful thinking. This is a countdown. Because if the league couldn't stop him as a rookie, what happens when the game slows down for him even more? What happens when his reads get sharper, his body stronger, his confidence unshakable? The answer might not be pretty, at least not for anyone wearing a different jersey. Lane Hutson isn't just coming back for another good season. He's coming back to take over. And if you're not ready for that, bet on it, you will be.
That Lane Hutson, here we are, Sick Podcast, hearing that Canadiens defenseman Lane Hutson will not be on the list for USA Hockey Orientation Camp, which will take place later this month for 2026.
This just happened in August, and no one saw it coming. A star player who broke NHL records and helped his team all season didn't even get an invite to Team USA's Olympic camp. People are talking everywhere. Coaches, fans, and even NHL insiders can't believe it. The decision is final. He's out. And the timing? Just months before Olympic picks begin. In August 2025, USA Hockey released the names of 44 players who were picked to attend the 2026 Olympic orientation camp. The camp is a big step in choosing who will play for Team USA in the Winter Olympics. One name was missing from the list: Lane Hutson. Lane Hutson is a defenseman who plays for the Montreal Canadiens. He had one of the best rookie seasons in NHL history. He scored 66 points in 82 games. That's more than any other first-year defenseman in the league. He also had 60 assists. That tied a record held since 1981 by Larry Murphy. Murphy is in the Hockey Hall of Fame. Lane also led his team in assists. He had more assists than any other player on the Montreal Canadiens. NHL insider Tony Marinaro was one of the first to speak out. On the Sick podcast, he said, "That's shocking. That's hard to understand." Marinaro listed many reasons why Lane should have been included. He talked about the scoring stats, the assists, the ice time, and even the advanced numbers that show how good Lane is at defense. He said, during the regular season, Hutson ranked inside the top 10 in 7 or 8 advanced stats for defensemen. He finished 32nd in puck battles, one out of about 250 NHL defensemen. That means Lane was better than hundreds of other players at stopping the puck and keeping control of the game. Still, Team USA left him out. Cole Caulfield, another player from the Canadiens, did make the list, but Lane's name was not there. This made fans ask why. Lane had more points than many players who were invited. Lane Hutson has played for Team USA before. He won silver at the 2020 Youth Olympics. He was named Best Defenseman at the 2022 World U18 Championship. He helped Team USA win gold at the 2024 World Juniors. There he was named to the All-Star team. He has always played well in international games. Now, for the first time, he's not even being given a chance. The hockey writers reported that fans were shocked when the final list came out. That's because Lane won the Calder Trophy just a few months ago. That's the NHL award given to the best rookie in the league. The list of 44 players was made public, and Lane's name wasn't there. The final picks for the Olympic team are still months away, but many believe that not being at the camp makes it very hard for Lane to make the team later. But his stats show he plays big. He wins puck battles. He logs top minutes. He makes plays and helps score goals. The numbers show it clearly. Tony Marinaro said, "If you're a selector, you're going to notice that Lane Hutson finished 7th in scoring, that he tied an NHL record that was going on since 1981, that he had more assists than any player on the Montreal Canadiens, that he had the most ice time and the most points, that he ranked inside the top 10 in advanced stats, that he finished 32nd in puck battles, one out of about 250 NHL defensemen." All of those things are true. All are from the NHL's official stats. Despite all of this, he will not be at the orientation camp. Some articles have tried to calm the fans. They say there's still time, that this camp isn't the final say, but many people feel that not inviting him now makes it harder for him to earn a spot later. The Athletic and Bleacher Report both covered the story. They confirmed the camp list. They showed who was in and who was left out. Lane was not on any version of the list. Lane Hutson played in all 82 regular season games. He stayed healthy. He scored often. He passed often. He helped his team more than any other new player in the NHL. The league gave him the Calder Trophy to prove it. Even in the playoffs, he didn't slow down. He had 5 assists in just 5 games. That's 1 assist per game in the most intense hockey of the year. This is not the first time something like this has happened in hockey, but this time it's louder. The stats are clear. The awards are recent. The season just ended. Fans remember everything. The decision has been made. The camp will move forward without Lane Hutson. That's the full story as of now. Lane Hutson, Calder winner, assist leader, record setter, is not going to the USA Hockey Olympic Camp in 2025.
Especially the shutout versus the Leafs, but I have to ask you first about Lane Hutson. Dynamic young player. I mean, he gets this place buzzing all the time. Could you ever imagine when you took him in the second round the player that he's become today?
This just happened. It's real, and it's big. Lane Hutson has finally spoken about what's going on with the Canadiens. No one expected this right now. The team is working on something huge behind the scenes. lines. What he said is out. It changes everything the fans were guessing. This all came out just days before training camp. Lane Hutson and the Montreal Canadiens are working on a contract extension. The discussions are described as positive, with both sides believed to be targeting a long-term deal. Hutson became eligible to sign an extension on July 1st. He qualifies under the NHL's 10.2C restricted free agency rules. This means he cannot receive offer sheets from other teams and does not have arbitration rights. The structure limits Hutson's negotiating leverage, giving Montreal full control over the pace and direction of talks. Both sides are believed to be aiming for a 6 to 8 year agreement. Comparable deals include those of both of whom signed contracts with average annual values in the $8 to $9 million range. Brock Faber's 8-year deal was worth $59 million. Jake Sanderson signed for 8 years at $8 million and 5 cents per season. The salary cap will rise to $104 million next season. Projections suggest that Hutson's cap hit could fall between $8.8 million and $9.5 million if it reflects roughly 9 to 9.5% of the total cap. This structure aligns with contracts signed recently by other defensemen in Hutson's position. Hutson had a standout rookie season. He recorded 66 points, including 60 assists. That tied the all-time NHL record for most assists by a rookie defenseman. He became the first Canadiens defenseman in history to reach that milestone as a rookie and was awarded the Calder Memorial Trophy, which is given to the league's best rookie. The Canadiens reportedly consider Hutson a major piece of their long-term plans. His performance, particularly during the second half of the season where he frequently played top-pair minutes, has cemented his role in the team's rebuild. There is no indication of trade activity or outside distractions. Hutson remains a core part of Montreal's future, and there is no reported interest in exploring other roster moves involving him. The challenge now is agreeing on the final numbers. Hutson's production has outpaced most defensemen his age. He was drafted 62nd overall in 2022 and has quickly moved from late-round prospect to top-line NHL defenseman. His scoring numbers, ice time, and special teams usage make him a rare case. The timing is important. With the salary cap increasing faster than in previous years, signing Hutson now could provide future savings as the market resets. The Canadiens are also building around a young core and want cost certainty in their key positions. Lane Hutson recently made a short public comment on the negotiations. At a youth hockey event, he said, "I trust the process, and I'm happy with how things are going with the team." It was his first public statement since the talks began. That brief statement confirmed what had been circulating behind the scenes. Discussions are active, productive, and likely to end in a long-term agreement. In just one NHL season, Hutson has tied league records and set team milestones. He is also one of the youngest defensemen to reach 60 assists in a single season. Before turning pro, Hutson played 2 seasons at Boston University. He was one of the highest-scoring defensemen in college hockey during that time. The Canadiens signed him to his entry-level NHL contract in April 2024. His next contract will be his second in the league and his first major deal. The Canadiens are now determining how to balance term and salary in a way that benefits both sides as the franchise continues its rebuild.